Hi Aquarius, I'm here to do your general love reading from August 6th to the 21st of 2017. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all the likes and shares and subscribes and the wonderful comments. Thank you so much for the personal reading requests, and I truly do want to express my appreciation for how understanding everybody has really been about the video that I put up about this weekend. It has been such an emotional weekend for me, and I appreciate everybody's patience in the personal readings too. I'm about a day behind, but mainly that's because I was so emotional yesterday after dropping off my son and knowing I wasn't going to see him for a while, and coming home to completely empty place, that I felt like it was going to really affect my readings. The energy, I just couldn't calm myself emotionally to the point that I felt like I was, it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm pretty centered when I do these readings, so that I can make sure that the messages that I'm hearing aren't, tainted by my emotion or anything like that. So I just wanted to express my appreciation for how wonderful and understanding everybody's really been about that. So thank you very much, because it's been a little tough, but I'm doing much better today. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. If you would like a personal reading from me, in the description box below, you'll see where my email is and then the price list there. And like I said, I am running a day behind, so the readings would probably, like if somebody was to request a reading today, and again, I do my readings via a private YouTube link, just like these videos. So I don't really have a schedule where I can, schedule and take and accept calls, because I also work full time, so it's hard for me to do that. And I just can't pack up my weekends either with calls, because I just set aside specific time. Anyway, that's how I do it. I do it through a private YouTube link. You don't need to know the rest of the story. Sorry. But anyway, so I send the private YouTube link to you. So when you request a reading, you'll email me, and I'll send you the link for the payment and all that. And then you are able to respond to me with your name, date of birth. If there's another person, their name, date of birth, the time and place of your birth, if you know it, and then also the questions. So if you get a 20-minute reading, it's up to 3 questions, and the 30-minute readings are up to 5 questions. But don't feel pressure to have to come up with 5 questions or 3 questions or any questions. If you're looking for general reading for you, just for like the next month or 3 months or whatever it is, then I'm happy to do that too. No pressure on the questions. Anyways, so let's go ahead and jump into this and get going. So the first card that I have for you is the 3 of Swords. So somebody, it could have been a third-party situation, or like somebody is very, very hurt. Someone, it's a heartbreak, definitely, but it's like mental and emotional anguish. I mean, it's a pretty devastating kind of feeling. This is something where somebody feels betrayed even. So I don't know if it's you or the other party, but this is somebody feeling betrayed. It could be you because of the swords. It could be you. And you could be dealing with a fire sign. The next card that I have is the 6 of Wands. So you could be dealing with a fire sign. Maybe it was in a situation where either, I mean, right off the bat, the first thing I would think is that they maybe broke your heart and they're walking around pretty cocky about it, or maybe being kind of a jerk about it, or acting like they one-upped you or something. But this is also viewed as a victory card, like in a more positive light. So it could be something where this could be indicating that this was a blessing in disguise, or that you're going to come out on top of this better. Like this betrayal or heartbreak is maybe something that leads to a victory or a victorious feeling. That could be it too. This is definitely like somebody is feeling pretty proud of themselves in this position. And this position is definitely some anguish. It's some heartache. It could be a third-party situation too, because of the 3s here. So it's definitely one of those that this is a crappy feeling, just in general. And then this is either a cocky kind of needs to be admired and praised, and it could be that somebody was like they need to be reassured by several different, men or women or whatever. It could be that they need a lot of attention. That could be somebody that's needing a lot of attention, and that could have caused the heartache, is that kind of behavior. The 6 of Wands is is a victory card though too, so it's like somebody comes out feeling like a winner or parading around too. It doesn't necessarily mean that they feel like a winner. They could be putting on a front too. They could be acting like real cocky or like they somehow won something. It could be something along those lines. Let's see what the next one is. The next card that I have is the 8 of Cups. So this is somebody... Is this somebody turning their back on something that they, like, something that you or they invested in emotionally, but it's turning their back on it because it no longer serves them. So this card indicates to me that it's not easy to turn their back on these cups. It's not like an easy thing to do, but he's turned his back on them and he's looking out into the distance and the full moon is in the background. So he's feeling very assured that this is the right thing to do. It's like his intuition is telling him, this is no longer serving you. You need to walk away. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you need to walk away permanently or that there has to be a permanent separation. But this is telling you that right now this situation is no longer serving you. So you need to change your focus even. Maybe not even walk away, but change your focus. Maybe you are entirely too focused on something and it's been maybe consuming your thoughts or causing feelings of heartbreak or betrayal. And you're needing to turn your back on that or that behavior maybe. This could even be a situation... I mean, honestly, this can be as large as a third-party situation and unfaithfulness to as little as, like, trust is broken maybe because somebody was checking in somebody's phone or something like that. Like, trust was broken and that broke somebody's heart a little bit. Like I'm really disappointed in you type of a feeling, too. And then the 6 of Wands could be kind of that cocky attitude of like feeling entitled to be able to look through your phone or something like that. Like, I don't know. I pick up those kind of vibes too from him. Like, I don't think it necessarily needs to be some major like heartbreak. It could be a feeling of disappointment and a little bit of cockiness too. So it could go both ways. And so that's why when this 8 of Cups popped up, I kind of thought about that as far as behavior. It could be that kind of behavior of going through, you know, the behavior that doesn't trust, that makes the other person feel a little betrayed because you don't trust them. That behavior could be what you need to turn your back on too. It could be indicating that. But there is something in this situation, like here, if you are dealing with somebody who's putting on this really kind of cocky asshole front, it could be that you need to turn your back on that. Because it's not emotionally serving you. It's only hurting right now to even have to witness that kind of a thing. And so it's saying to turn your back away from it. But I feel like it's not going to be necessarily easy to turn your back because there was a lot of investment here. The next card that I have for you is the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, she's my no bullshit girl. It could be you could be dealing with another air sign, or this is you. And then you could be dealing with a water sign, a fire sign here too. But the Queen of Swords is definitely, she's no BS. She can call it like she sees it. She's a straight shooter. She's one who even, I feel like with the Queen of Swords too, because it is still a feminine energy, there is a softer, more compassionate and understanding side of the Queen of Swords, but she's still that friend who's going to give it to you straight. She's not that friend who you say, you know, the typical does my ass look fat in these pants or whatever. She is the kind who, because she's your friend and is compassionate, she'll tell you yes, and she'll tell you what you can do to fix that situation, kind of a thing. She's the one who will be honest with you. But I also feel like she can be very cutting. And this could be because it's a feminine energy too, and feminine energy is typically more emotional, and even though she's intellectual and logical, that could be why there's emotion behind kind of that cutting, very direct communication, which can come across as mean or angry or bitter, because there is emotion behind the logic as well. So I feel like it could represent somebody who is a little harsh, or, you know, it could be that there is, especially because it's directly under this 3 of Swords, and this is your energy, I feel like it's it's something to do with, that situation. You're going to call somebody on the carpet about it. Or maybe if they are the one who feel like you broke their heart or whatever, you might call them on some bullshit. You might call them on some, something along the lines of, like, I get the feeling it'll be something like, well, you shouldn't have been looking then, or you shouldn't have been trying to come up with a reason to not trust me, or whatever it was. Like, I feel like there could be some direct communication there too, reminding them that they may have some responsibility in the way things went down, or something like that. So I feel like she's also the one who is. She can also represent a single type woman, or somebody who's very strong and independent. It doesn't necessarily need to be single. Like, she can be in a relationship, but she's very independent. She's very singular in the way she thinks and operates. And so it could be that it's just that you are embodying a very independent type of energy here too. Maybe after this heartbreak and you turning your back on something that's no longer serving you, it's kind of like, it's almost like recognizing this Six of Wands energy as being, you might be calling them on the way they acted, or saying, you were strutting around or prancing around like you're hot shit or something like that. So it could be you calling or somebody, but I feel like this is your energy, calling somebody on the carpet about them needing attention or being extravagant or something along those lines. The next card that I have for you is the Magician. So the Magician he's the ability to manifest. Yes, he's one of those cards that says that you can manifest something, but he's the spark of the beginning of whatever it is that you would end up manifesting. So it hasn't even moved into the action stage. It's just the spark that comes in that creates this, that helps to create the idea of what you want or where you want to go, what you want to manifest. So I feel like there's going to be some kind of inspiration that hits a lot of you, or some kind of new idea or new thought or new energy that comes in, and it's going to be that spark that wants to do something different or come up with a new. It's like something that maybe you haven't considered before, or something that hasn't come to your attention before. It's a new way of thinking almost that I feel like will bring you to manifestation rather than the way that things have been going. It is that kind of renewed type of genius idea or brilliant way of thinking, or brilliant path. I feel like that spark, that illumination will come in for some of you, where you can start to formulate where it is you actually want to go for real. Like, if you don't want this stuff going on anymore, and this, this heartache and this turning your back on things that no longer serve you, and maybe there's been arguing, or maybe you've had to stand up to somebody or something, or stand for something. I feel like this spark, this inspiration is coming in to tell you where you want to go from here, so that you don't repeat this stuff again. And then the next card that I have is the Ace of Wands. So this is the action. This is the action, the beginning of the action that follows after this spark. So this is this spark, this inspiration comes in, and this is this ace, this new beginning, Ace of Wands, which is based in action. You're going to start moving toward that. Like, that's going to be your goal, and you're going to start moving toward that. So let's see if we can clarify some of this. Please clarify this 3 of Swords for Aquarius for August 6th through the 21st, 2017. What is this 3 of Swords here for? Okay, so the 3 of Swords is clarified by the 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups being an emotional fulfillment card, clarifying this 3 of Swords, is this indicates to me that this is a pretty big heartache. This is something where you felt like this person was your emotional match. Like, this was your emotional fulfillment. They made you feel very emotionally fulfilled. So this 3 of Swords, I feel like, is pretty strong energy. Because with it, the 10 of Cups clarifying, that could be a water sign. And this could be vice versa. I mean, it could be them feeling this way. but somebody is deeply hurt by something. It's like a deep heartache. Please clarify the 6 of Wands for Aquarius for August 6th through the 21st. What is the 6 of Wands here for? Please clarify the 6 of Wands. Yeah, the 6 of Wands is clarified by the Lover. And these are both sixes. Lover's card on top of the 6 of Wands. So this is a 6 and a 6 together. So that's interesting. So it could be too that this, okay, with the Lover's card on top of this 6 of Wands, on top of this cocky energy, it could be that if there was a third party situation, they could be, this new couple here could be parading themselves in front of you. It could be this, you having to witness all this crap right in front of you, or vice versa. But I feel like it also could be a matter of, because the 6 of Wands is a victory card, I feel like it could be that there's some heartache right here, like there's a heartbreak or something, you know, really crappy that happens. But then it's like after that, there's a victory too. So it's almost like the love perseveres in this situation where it's like a recognition of, but you know, we can win this together. We can do this together because we're soulmates, because we are so close to each other. We can make it through this. So it could be interpreted either way there. Please clarify this 8 of Cups for the sign of Aquarius for August 6th through the 21st, 2017. What is this 8 of Cups about here? Yeah, so the 8 of Cups is clarified by the 6 of Cups. So some of you are walking away from a relationship, like a past relationship too, or it could be that you are walking away from an idealization that you had of a past relationship. Maybe you romanticized a past relationship a certain way, and now you're turning your back and walking away from that because it's no longer emotionally fulfilling you. Like it could be that this relationship is something that from the past, literally it will be in the past then now at this point because of this 8 of Cups. You're turning your back on it, or like I said, vice versa. But this is also a card that indicates nostalgia too, and it could be that you are even letting go of the idea of a past relationship coming back. That could be it too. You could be walking away from that idea. But I feel like too it's saying, like in the case where it could be that the love conquers all and there's a victory in this love, even though there's this heartache and betrayal right here with this 10 of Cups. And it could be that if there was a third party situation with this 10 of Cups, but y'all still, you know, think you can be victorious and make it through this because you feel like you're soulmates, then it could be that you turn your back, or like this past love, the idea of your past relationship and how everything went up until this point, you need to turn your back on it too because you don't want to repeat the same situation. So that could be what it is. Please clarify this Queen of Swords for this sign of Aquarius for August 6th through the 21st, 2017. Please clarify what this Queen of Swords is here for love for Aquarius. Please clarify this Queen of Swords for the sign of Aquarius for August 6th through the 21st for love. Why is this Queen of Swords here? There. Yeah, again, the Queen of Swords is clarified by the 3 of Swords. So I feel like even if it's a situation where you don't, like, you know, relationships are cyclical. So this, I realize this is a little contradictory, but this happens all the time. That a couple can have this heartache because, you know, there's a betrayal of this idea of being an emotionally fulfilled couple, and then this heartache comes because you realize that something happens, or maybe a third party situation, and that kind of dream is shattered a little. But then since there's a strong soulmate connection here, the 6 of Wands being a victory card or being maybe a little bit cocky could be one of two things. Somebody, either the victory is that the love, you know, you two decide that your love can make it through this, and you want to be victorious together. Or it could be that somebody's a little bit cocky because they feel like, well, we're soulmates, so I can kind of be a jerk and they're going to forgive me anyways. Like, you know, this is just going to pass or whatever. So somebody could be being a little bit of a jerk too in that situation. But I feel like this Lover's card is indicating that there is somebody's making it through this heartache together, or they are going to be coming back together, but turning their backs on the way that this past relationship was, or the romanticism of maybe one person or the other person's past relationships. It could be that one person idealizes maybe a previous relationship that they had, saying, you know, well, we never had these problems. I never had this problem with so-and-so, or I never had these issues with anybody else. And, you know, it could be kind of like that kind of energy too. But it's on top of the Eight of Cups, which is turning your back on something. But then we come down to the Queen of Swords, who is very direct and blunt in her communication. So it could be that this heartache comes up again. I mean, how many times we get in conversations or arguments with our partners where we bring up the past? It happens all the time. So somebody could be jumping back to this Three of Swords issue again, and it creates a huge fight, or it creates a kind of a blowout energy again, where the past is brought up, and so you're not necessarily moving forward anymore at that point. Everybody feels like they're back to ground zero. So let's see what this Magician is about. Please clarify the Magician card for Aquarius for August 6th through the 21st, 2017 for love. What is this Magician card about? Please clarify this Magician card for the sign of Aquarius for August 6th through the 21st, 2017. What is this Magician card about? Please clarify the Magician card. Okay, so the Magician is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, so you could be dealing with an earth sign here in this scenario. The Knight of Pentacles he's a little more dependable than his other knight counterparts. Like, the Knight of Swords is kind of the hero mentality. You know, he's going to swoop in, be the knight in shining armor, but he's very swift energy, so he can come and go just as quickly. The Knight of Wands is the same kind of thing. He's very passionate, he's very driven, he's very action-oriented, but he can come and go as quickly as the next one. The Knight of Cups is the same way. He's very emotional. He has a lot of love to give, and a lot of love to give he does, all over the place, you know. So it could be, you know, that energy, although it's a slower energy, it is spread out kind of energy. And I don't mean that the Knight of Cups is necessarily, worring around or anything like that, but he could be. But he's very emotional in a lot of the interactions that he has. So this Knight of Pentacles is a little different than the other knight counterparts. This Knight of Pentacles is very fixed on a specific goal or a specific end. He has a specific end game that he's constantly moving towards. He doesn't move very quickly, but he moves in the same direction. He's got a fixed location that he's going to, or a fixed goal. And so he doesn't waver a whole lot. He's not a come and go type of an energy. He's pretty loyal and stable and steady. So I feel like this, on top of this Magician card, could be that some of you have, maybe an earth sign coming into the picture, or some of you are feeling this recognition of, maybe I need to adopt a little bit of this stability type of energy. So it could be that there's something about this knight and his steadfastness in moving in one direction to an end goal, that this Magician may spark what that goal is in your mind, and you'll know then that that's where I'm going. Like, that's where I'm going. That's where I want to go. So I'm going that way, and nothing's going to deter you or stop you. So I feel like that's what the Magician is doing on top of that Knight of Pentacles. Please clarify this Ace of Wands for Aquarius for love, August 6th through the 21st, 2017. What is this Ace of Wands about? Please clarify this Ace of Wands for Aquarius for August 6th through the 21st, 2017. What is this Ace of Wands about? Okay, so yeah, the Ace of Wands clarified by the Two of Wands. Now, this Two of Wands, I feel like, is a recognition of two separate paths that there's two directions that he's considering almost. There's two sets of actions because there's two wands there. So there's two different sets of actions, but he's kind of looking in between the two of them. So I feel like this, with this wands on top of wands, this is going to be something where like he's looking at the destination at that point. With this two of wands, he knows where he's going, and it's going to be, you'll make the decision and you're going there. And it's not, like, I know this Knight of Pentacles is slow, steady energy, but the Ace of Wands is not a slow and steady energy. It's a fire on top of fire. Like, there's fire, a lot of fire. So you're going. Once you know where you're going, and once you know what you want, where that end goal is, there's nothing stopping you at that point. It's going to be a decision that you have to make. So it's a conscious choice that you'll make, but you'll make it and there won't be shit to stop you at that point, I feel like. So all in all, it's a positive, there's a progress being made that's positive for you. There's just some of this heartache going on up here, but like I said, this is, in relationships we have these pains and we have this stuff that sucks, but it also is a lot of hope too here. So I feel like you're really going to figure out what it is that you want and where you're going. So anyways, I hope that resonates with a lot of you. Please leave me a comment if it does, and I'll see you in the middle of the month.